Alright, hopefully no bugs fly in my mouth this time. Welcome back to another video, Masters. If you are listening to this for the first time, I want to let you know that you are the master of your reality. I am the master of my reality, and in this video, we're going to talk about high vibrations. What it means to have a high vibration and why it's more important than ever before. How you get a high vibration and how you maintain it, which is the hard part. So let's talk about that. Alright, so what does it mean to have a high vibration and why is that important? Alright, and I want to preface this idea with the truth that you are energy. You are the spiritual being that has come down from pure energy in a higher frequency realm into this lower frequency realm in the form of electricity within the vessel. Your body is the perfect vessel for that energetic spiritual essence, which is you. And the flow of that electricity can be restricted to varying degrees while you're incarnated in this temporary physical form. But you don't want to be restricted or limited as much as you can help. You want this energy to be as free as humanly possible to flow and to have that strong connection to the higher realms. And so we're going to go over what causes this energy to become restricted in the first place and how to clear up any blockages in the flow of that energy later in this video. But first, let's understand what having a high vibration really means. So, because the cells in the body are capable of vibrating within a certain band of frequency, having a high vibration literally means that your body is vibrating at a higher frequency on the cellular level within that band of frequency that it is capable of. Does that make sense? So even though the energy that is you in its most pure form has a frequency at a near infinite rate of vibration, it is restricted by this human vessel so that we can have this temporary physical experience. Kind of like a controlled environment, if you will. But as I stated, there are varying levels of restriction to the flow of that energy throughout the vessel. And we want to remove those restrictions as much as possible. So you can essentially think of having a high vibration as having less energetic restrictions on your mind and your body. All right. That's why I like the word vessel, because it encompasses both the mind and the body, which are one. Now, having a high vibration is important because you could say that the higher the rate of vibration, the higher your frequency, the closer you are to the divine. So maybe you're seeking a closer connection with your higher self. Maybe you're seeking a stronger relationship with God. Whatever that means to you, right, being closer to the divine, well, that's what we're going to talk about in this video. How to attain that higher frequency, how to raise your vibes, right? And this is important now more than ever before because we are in the midst of a radical shift in consciousness, in the consciousness of humanity. And if you can be ahead of that shift by achieving a high frequency, a high rate of vibration, peeling back those layers of energetic restriction now, then you will be at a much more advantageous position than most during this transition to the new age. Alright, so we're going to be talking about some very high level stuff in this video. Alright, so hopefully you've already seen my foundational videos, so you can have that foundational understanding of what you are, what reality is, and what the purpose of life is. Alright? So let's dive further into this. So what are these energetic restrictions and how did we get them in the first place? Well, it's important to remember that some of the energetic restrictions are necessary for us to have a normal human experience. All right. For example, the spectrum of light that we can actually see with our eyes is very limited. We can actually only see about 0.0035% of the electromagnetic spectrum. If we could see any more, we would just be completely overloaded with sensory input that we couldn't even like get up and walk around. You know what I mean? So we need some restrictions in order to function as a capable human being, right? Then we have these other restrictions that we contract over time that actually limit what we're capable of. So these are the restrictions that we can and want to remove. And I suppose it will be helpful to separate these restrictions into mental and physical. All right, on the mental side of things, you have limiting beliefs that are restricting you from higher frequency thought. All right, restricting the light in mentis, or light in the mind, enlightenment, from flowing freely. All right, these limiting beliefs are your I can't, or I will never, it's impossible, I'm not fill in the blank enough, right? All right, those are limiting beliefs that are keeping you from reaching a higher potential. Then you have fear, which is the biggest limiting belief of them all. All right, I'll have to do an entire video on fear for the sake of not making this video too long. But just know that fear is restricting you from experiencing more. And sometimes that can be a good thing, but most of the time it's soul crushing. You see, fear is what holds people back from their purpose. And I have to give a shout out to the Waters Above Expansion Mastermind course because it allowed me to remember what fear really is. Fear is the brake pedal on life. Fear is what kills momentum. Fear disrupts momentum. And there really is nothing to fear. There's nothing to fear. There's only opportunity to experience. So that's the mental side of energetic restrictions. It's mostly fear, you know, these limiting beliefs. And when you truly understand who and what you are by replacing your limiting beliefs with unlimited beliefs, unlimiting beliefs, you are able to look your deepest and darkest fears in the eyes and smile because you're no longer afraid. You're fearless. You've become fearless. So that's why these foundational ideas are so important, because it allows one to get to that place of fearlessness, which is incredibly powerful. So that's the mental side. Now on the physical side of these energetic restrictions, they are just as uncomfortable, and it gets a bit more complicated, but I'm going to do my best to simplify it in a way that still has utility for you without getting too much into too scientific, too much into the weeds. All right, I say removing your restrictions can be uncomfortable because we get used to our restrictions. Restrictions make us feel safe, and the process of replacing your limiting beliefs with unlimiting beliefs can be very uncomfortable. You know, we get comfortable in our happy little limited realities. But removing our physical restrictions, our physical blockages of this energetic flow, can also be a very uncomfortable process, because it essentially requires us to change our consumption habits. If the goal is to remove restrictions or blockages to the flow of energy throughout the human vessel so that that energy can flow at a higher rate of vibration, at a higher frequency, then the first course of action is to stop or reduce the behavior and the choices that are resulting in those energetic blockages, that are causing this energetic congestion. Here I am specifically talking about reducing inflammation in the body. All right, then you want to make sure that you're giving the body what it actually needs to facilitate the optimal flow of energy throughout the human vessel. Now, I'm not a doctor, okay? This is not medical or health advice. I'm just sharing what has personally worked for me and what has helped me feel the best that I ever have, physically, spiritually, mentally, etc. So this inflammation is restricting the flow of electricity throughout the body. And we have to think of the body as a hydroelectric system because that's what it is. We're made of about 70% water, depending on your level of hydration, but mostly water. And within that water, we have these minerals that create the conductive medium for that electricity to flow. That's a hydroelectric system. Now, anytime you consume anything, you're putting a load or a tax on your body to process that. Think of this load as like a brake pedal on your frequency. And this is why you can achieve very high states of consciousness, really high vibrations during prolonged fasts, because you're removing that load that the body has to process. So the energy is able to flow much more freely throughout the body without that tax, without that load. If that makes sense. And so without getting like too deep into the weeds about acidity and alkalinity, just understand that highly processed foods are extremely taxing on the body. They create a big load for your body to process. And when you consume too much of these highly processed foods, it leads to inflammation. And inflammation is pretty much the body's way of healing itself, getting rid of excess things, of things that shouldn't be there, and healing the damaged parts of the body that were damaged by this excessive load. And when you keep consuming these super processed foods that put a heavy load on the body, leads to more inflammation, you keep consuming, and it overwhelms the body's natural process. And the result is disease, all right? Dis-ease. You are not at ease. So, in order to reduce the energetic restrictions within the body, you want to reduce the consumption of highly processed foods and replace that consumption with minimally processed or whole foods, unprocessed foods. And since the body is mostly water, you want to make hydration your #1 priority. All right, and the best form of hydration comes from fruit, nature's waters. You see, water actually has 4 states. All right, I know that's completely wrong compared to what we learned in school, but it's true. There's solid, gel, liquid, gas. All right, and this gel state is called hexagonal water or structured water. All right, it's kind of right in between solid and liquid. It still can move, but it also holds the shape of the container. And this structured water forms when water molecules within a living organism, all right, this is the only way that this can happen, is water within a living organism. The molecules orient themselves in a way that kind of lines up and creates this grid of water, and that allows for a much more conductive medium for electricity. All right, these are living waters. And your body has to turn normal water into this structured water in order for it to conduct electricity optimally. So the idea by consuming this pre-structured water is that you eliminate that extra step that your body has to take. All right, now, I'm not a frugivore or vegan or vegetarian. I don't follow any specific diet, okay? I am the master of my reality. And so I just do my best to eat a balanced diet according to my understanding of the human body and what I actually enjoy eating. All right, it's as simple as that. All right, now, another benefit to eating fruit is you get the organic minerals that your body needs to create that conductive medium for the light to flow within you. And the only thing I will say about inorganic versus organic minerals is that only plants can convert inorganic minerals from the dirt, from soil, into organic minerals through nature's process of bringing those minerals into the plant and depositing it into the fruit or vegetable. So this is why you can't survive off of just drinking water and eating soil, right? You can't survive off dirt. So you need to get your minerals from food that has already converted those inorganic minerals to organic minerals. All right, and if you want a deeper understanding of inorganic versus organic minerals, check out this video by Dr. Berg explaining all this very nicely. So shout out to Dr. Berg. And, you know, sadly, since our farming soils have been depleted, a lot of these necessary minerals, these trace minerals that we need, a lot of our whole foods are lacking them. So it's not a bad idea to take supplements for these minerals, but make sure you're getting organic mineral supplements. Now, I recommend that you get your own blood work done so you can find out exactly which minerals you might be deficient in. Personally, what I do liquid magnesium in like drops in my coconut water, which I drink a lot of. And then I have a high quality shilajit resin. Make sure you get high quality, tested, lab tested. This has like the shilajit stuff has like 84 different organic minerals in it. So that's kind of like my, you know, in case I missed any solution, right? Okay, so great. Now you should have an idea as to how you can remove some of the energetic blockages from within your body. Now, I'm not an expert on this matter, but I do know that this has a lot to do with unblocking the flow of energy throughout the body's chakras. These energetic centers within the body are these wheels of light, right? So this, along with spiritual work, is how you unblock these energy centers in the body, how you open up your chakras. And the third eye chakra, right, your pineal gland, is the receiver of the spiritual world. It's your receiver to the spiritual world. And so the less restricted that it is, the more spiritual and cosmic insight you are able to receive. So please get rid of your fluoride toothpaste if you have not already. Please. Okay, now the real trick of all this is maintaining that high vibration. All right, once you get it, you have to hold on to it, and that can be hard to do. You might have had like an incredible spiritual experience or went on a religious retreat and you feel amazing, you feel super positive, super high vibe, and then you come back to your reality and that high vibe kind of fizzles out, kind of fades away. And that is because while that environment or a certain experience might have promoted a temporary higher vibration, your subconscious mind is still programmed to a certain frequency. So you have to reprogram your subconscious mind to a higher frequency. All right, and that's what's hard about all this. All right, it's not like hard, it just takes a while. Okay, it's a long process. And you do this by changing your environment on the day-to-day. So if you remember from my What is Reality video, your environment is everything that you're observing in your surroundings. It is your input. So that includes everything you're consuming, your food, any substances or drugs you're taking, the people you hang out with, the music you listen to, the movies and shows you watch, the content you watch, the books you read. All of these things have their own frequency that rubs off on you to some degree, right? That they all have some input on your subconscious mind, whether you realize it or not. So by replacing these things that you believe have a low frequency with things that have a higher frequency, over time, you reprogram your subconscious mind to a higher frequency, a higher vibration subconscious mind. And as the master of your reality, it's up to you to choose how extreme you want to be with this. All right, and I think everything in moderation is an important rule to follow with this. You don't want to completely overhaul your reality in 1 week. You want to steadily and consistently adjust your input, trust the process, and over time you will evolve into a more enlightened being. you will raise your frequency. And so some of the things that I have done that have helped raise my frequency is changing the music I listen to. Check out Papadosio. They have some amazing music. Some of their stuff is instrumental, some of it has words, but you know, they're kind of like a jam band, really long songs, but just so positive, such a high energy, high frequency stuff. So listening to Papadosio, it really makes me feel more positive, more higher frequency than listening to something like, you know, rap or, you know, like mainstream rap. There's some good rap out there, but you know what I'm talking about. Changing the food I consume, right? Fasting, breathing techniques like Wim Hof definitely help. Some meditation, some yoga, listening to deep intellectual podcasts, psilocybin mushrooms. Now, I'm definitely not recommending them, especially if they're illegal in your location, but the few experiences that I've had with them have definitely changed the way the energy flows in my mind. And that's what they do, right? They create new neural pathways, which can be very beneficial if you're trying to reprogram the subconscious mind. So I just wanted to be fully transparent with y'all about that. But they're definitely nothing to mess around with. They're very powerful psychedelics and should be treated with the utmost respect and sacredness, as with any plant medicine. All right, you definitely don't need any psychedelics to raise your frequency. Definitely not. You already have everything that you need with your normal state of mind. So with that said, my hope with this video is that it will give you a mental toolkit for removing any restrictions on your energetic frequency and allow you to embody a higher frequency of mental and physical being, all for a more limitless and abundant experience as the master of your reality. Now, remember, it's going to get uncomfortable at times, but if you can learn to be comfortable being uncomfortable, that's where you really start making progress. And please know that I have my own energetic restrictions that I am in the process of removing too. And you know, this is a lifelong process of self-evolution. So please be patient with yourself and trust your divine process. And I want to wrap up this video with a few words of wisdom that will help you along your journey of expanding consciousness and raising your frequency. So here they are. You first have to admit that you're injured before you can begin the healing process. I am healing every day. The key to radiating with love is gratitude for the present moment. Be here now. And finishing it off with a Waters Above classic, script your outcome, fall in love with the process. So my friends, that is it for this video. If you are seeking guidance along your spiritual journey of self-mastery, then I would personally like to invite you to join our private Discord community. You can come hang out and chat with me and a community of like-minded individuals, other masters of their realities. And I made the private Discord free for the first 1,000 subscribers to the channel. So make sure that you're subscribed and then claim your spot in the Discord by clicking the link down in the description to the Patreon. That's where you'll be able to find the link to the Discord. And again, it's 100% free until we hit 1,000 subscribers. I am looking forward to responding to your comments below. I read all the comments, guys, so let me know what your thoughts were about this. How are you raising your frequency? If you found value in this video, I'd appreciate it if you left a like and consider sharing this video with someone who you think could benefit from it. But yeah, that's it. I really appreciate you watching till the end. I'm wishing love and abundance for you, and until next time, master your reality.